everybody, and welcome to Bunky's Workshop. I am Bunky, and today I'm going to bring you a few goodies that we have picked up. As many of you know that are familiar with my channel, we have purchased a new camper. To those that are new, just watching this first time, so yes, we have sold our old camper, which was a 2013 Jayco X213, and we have purchased a 2022 Grand Design Imagine MKLEE. I think it's a 17. That's it. 17 MKE. So Grand Design Imagine 17 MKE. Awesome. There is a video on it, so definitely go take a look at it. And if you have any questions or comments about it, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below, and we'll go from there. Anyway, so as you know, in that video, we had won $1,000 to purchase items in Beckley's RV accessory shop. And so we picked out a few things that we need, but most of the stuff we already had because, we already have a camper. So we just transferred it over. But there were a few things that we wanted to upgrade, or things that we did find out that we needed. And so we went ahead and did that. Now, some of the stuff they had available while we were there, and we just grabbed it. And we put it in the storage bin on board and brought it home. The few items that they didn't have in stock, they shipped to us, and we received it, I believe, yesterday or the day before. And I figured I'd bring you along so that you could see what we received. And also kind of explain why we went from one item to a different item. So that if you're new at this, that maybe you'll learn something from it as we have. As you know, or many of you out there that are in caravans, campers, travel trailers, RVs, whatever it may be, you learn as you go. The camper we had before was our very first camper, and we made a lot of mistakes. We learned from them, and then as we grew with the camper, we also grew with friends and people that are camper friendly people, if you will, and we learned right along from them, and also on YouTube. There's many channels out there that have people that are doing this full time, and definitely have put their time, effort, energy, and their money into this stuff, and we will learn right along with them. So here we go. So here's the box that came in the mail. I opened it once I saw what it was. I didn't go through it because I figured I wanted to bring you along. I'm gonna put the glasses on. Okay, it's just a receipt for the items we got. So the first thing is the TireLink Tpms System. And I guess I'll put this on the side for right now as we go through it. So basically, if you are traveling with a camper, even with your car, it doesn't matter. If you have tires and you're on the road, a TPMS system, tire pressure monitoring system, very important. We found out the hard way, even though many people had said, get this on your vehicle or get this on your camper. Don't leave home without it. Nah, we're good. I check my tires every time. Never have a problem. Well, we decided to go right towards the end of summer. We're like, the camper hasn't even been uncovered. We haven't been in it. We haven't done anything because of COVID. We need to get out of town. We need to find something to do. So I said, let's get the camper going. So I loaded the camper up, loaded the truck up, found a babysitter for the two dogs, and we took off. Well, about an hour and a half into our travels, we blew a tire. I said, not a problem. We have USAA insurance. They showed right up. They put the spare on. We were off and running. Not a big deal. About an hour later, another blowout, different tire. We didn't have a spare tire. We already used it the first time. We got stuck on the side of the road all night long, and we had cantaloupe for dinner. Needless to say, a nasty letter went out to USAA. They did take care of us after that, and we let them know that you left us on the road, middle of the night, out of the middle of nowhere, and we were unhappy about that. But anyways, no, leave it alone. If we would have had this system, we would have known ahead of time that there was a problem with one or two or whatever tire it was before it blew. So what we learned from this experience was to get a TPMS system, and on top of it, on your tire where it says max fill, whatever that number is, that's what they want it to be. Not above it, not below it. Make sure your tire pressure is what it's supposed to be, and make sure that you're checking it all the time. And you're also checking that pressure when the tire is cold. Before you move the camper, before you do anything, make sure you check the pressure of that tire. And whatever it says on the side of that tire, I think ours say 65. We have Goodyear Endurance tires on this trailer, and I believe it is 65 PSI, cold, okay? Anyways, the other thing is, don't let your camper sit, even though you're not using it. Hook it up to your truck or whatever, take it around the block and put it back. Keep your tires moving and flexible. Sitting there, they just deteriorate. But anyways, so this system in our camper, which is the Grand Design, it is already pre-wired and ready to go for this. So there is a docking station inside our camper this connects to. It's already wired up, and no problems with us. So inside, they got our name on it. You have this piece. Well, start from here. This is the transmitter, or called repeater. So if this recognizes a problem with one of the tires, which we have 4 tires on our travel trailer, this says, hey, there's a problem. Either you're losing pressure or your temperature is too high, you're having a problem, check it. This will send a signal to this inside the truck and let you know you've got a problem, pull over. Also, this hooks up to your cell phone. If you have a smartphone, you can download the app, and that way inside your car or wherever you are, you can keep track of your tires. Everything is here. And I think what I'll do is, when I install this, I will bring you along and I'll make a video of it in case someone's interested in it. I do know there's a couple of videos out there to where this is being connected. But I'll do one, and that way we can be on board with it. But anyways, a TPMS system is a must-have. It can save your life, your family, and other people that are on the road as well. Thank God that when the first one popped, I saw it in my rear view mirror, and I pulled over immediately. The second tire popped, and I didn't even know it popped. I didn't hear it. I didn't feel it. I was riding along. It was pouring down, raining. I just said, I have to go to the bathroom. So I pulled over on the side of the road so I could use the bathroom in the camper. And I'm like, I smell something hot, like burning. And I happened to walk around the camper just to do an inspection. And sure enough, another tire had popped. Now, can you imagine? I feel that we're lucky because sometimes when your tire pops, your trailer can go crazy and flip. None of that happened. And I'm so lucky. Again, if I would have had this, I would have known that they were heating up or one was losing pressure, something was wrong, and I could have saved myself a big headache and trouble. But anyways, a TPMS system, good thing to have. What's next? Oh, okay, so this is called a right angle outlet. So, and here's a picture. That's what it does. So basically, as you see here, that's the back of our camper, okay? The plug that comes with the camper just plugs in. And so the wire, so if this is the back of the camper, it plugs in. And then the wire itself has to hang down. And it's a very thick and heavy wire. There's been people that had complained that after time with that wire hanging, you get a short inside the outlet, the plug. And so they recommended that you get this right angle plug so that you take that tension away from it hanging. So let me pull this out real quick. Oy vey. So this is exactly what it looks like. So our cable is this thick. Look how thick that is. And it just plugs into the back. So you see right here is all this weight from this hangs down. And they say eventually this, where all the tension is at, it starts a shortage, and the wire starts a lot of problem because all this weight hanging down is pulling on this. So they highly suggest it to get this. So now this will plug into the back of the RV, and now the cable hangs straight down. There's no more tension. So does that make sense? So that's why I wanted one of these. Now just getting it back in here. Well, there's no reason for you to sit and watch me do that. I can put that back when I'm not filming. So what else? Okay. So this is a metal bracket for the door. Now, on the back of our door, there is I think they call it a T angle. So on the wall of the camper, this T comes out and it connects to the back of the door and it stops the door from swinging in the wind. Well, I connected it, but we had a friend come by one day and was just checking out the camper, and she didn't know that was there, tried to shut the door and broke it. Well, it was a small little piece of plastic. And on our third day of owning the camper, it broke. So I called Beckley's and I said, hey, I see in your catalog that you have one of these that is metal. Can I have a metal one so that I don't have to worry about the plastic? So they shipped it to me. And I'm hoping and praying that it charge it. So let's see. Tpms, adapter, holder, door. Yeah. They charged us $20 for this. It should have been covered under warranty. So anyways, we'll see. So that's what they shipped us. The door, metal door holder, the TPMS system, and then the right angle connector. All this was covered, plus all the stuff I'm going to show you was covered under that $1,000 gift certificate we won on the day we purchased our RV. And if you want to see that video of us winning the money and meet Eric, our salesman, watch my video on when we purchased our camper, and you'll see. It was pretty fun to watch. So the next thing up, tire covers. Goes along with the TPMS system. We've never covered our tires before. Now we bought a very nice cover for the whole camper, and the camper gets covered from, for the whole winter. It gets winterized and covered. We thought that was enough, but we didn't stop and think about the tires. So what we found out from the dealership was the severe cold and the rain, plus like during the summer, they're not covered. So the rays from the sun and all that, it just deteriorates your tires. And they said the best thing to do, the top thing to do, is to store your tires out of the sun and weather when it's not being used. Well, who's going to take their tires on and off every time it's not being used? So they highly recommend covering your tires when your camper's not in use. So 4 tire covers for the camper. What else? Okay, so let's start. These are called dog bones, and you can kind of see why. Kind of looks like a dog bone. We were camping one time, and again, we were newbies, and they had told us in the sheet that they had emailed to us that the only site that was available, they gave it to us, and it was only a site that was for the big motor homes, and it only had 50 amp service for electric. I'm like, oh, not a big, I was so excited to just go camping in our camper, I didn't pay attention. So you get there, and a 30 amp plug looks like this. Okay? That's what was coming out of our old camper. And, well, the same thing with the new camper. It's a 30 amp camper as well. So I get there, a 30 amp plug looks like this. So do you see a big difference? Do you see the difference? 50 amp, 30 amp. I was like, well, what am I going to do? You know, thank God there was a pedestal right next door to where they were using a pedestal that had 50 and 30 amp on it. And I was just able to move our camper just close enough to where I was able to plug in. If I wasn't able to do that, we wouldn't have electric. Well, a dog bone. So this one takes it from a 30 amp plug down, this takes it from a 50 amp plug down to a 30 amp. So then, if that's all they offer is 30 amp at that site, I can say no problem, plug this into the pedestal, and then plug our camper in. And we're good, not a problem. Very important to have these step downs or step ups, because it can go either way. So, I already had this one, and for some oddball reason, I saw this mega monster and bought it. This is a 50 amp down to a 30 amp. Why did I like it? This one doesn't have the handles on it. You kind of try to hold it here, and sometimes it's hard to plug and unplug these. So this has the holder, the handle. And it's very nice to just pull in and push out on both ends. So this one is the 50 amp to 30, 50 amp to 30. So now I have two. So what I'm going to do, one of our best friends across the street, Linda, she has a camper that's 30 amp. And I'm going to give her this and tell her one day you might need it. But there you go. Always make sure that you have a dog bone. Because you never know when you're going to need it to go from 50 amp to 30. Now I know you could probably go from 30 to 50, but you have to be very careful because that means you probably have two air conditioners on board or whatever it may be that take it up to a 50 amp. You can connect your 50 amp travel trailer, whatever it may be, down to a 30, but be aware, you cannot run everything on board, all right? You probably can only run one air conditioner at a time. You probably may only be able to run the microwave opposite of your air conditioner, but be careful. It can be done, but if you're a 50 amp and you're drawing on a 30 amp, you cannot run everything on board. But have your dog bones so that you're prepared. Now, while we're talking electric, here's another one that's very, very important we found out the hard way. So this is a 30 amp to 30 amp, and this is a surge protector. And I'll show you the front of it. Do I have that upside down? Yep, surge guard. Okay. Wait a minute, put my glasses on. When I put it up to the camera, it flips around on me. Okay, surge guard, there we go. So this is very important. This will say whether you have power, whether you have an open neutral, an open ground, reverse polarity, or no power. And here's a story with it, always got the story. We were camping, and even though we were told when we bought our camper, the company that we bought it from was trying to get us to buy, trying to get us to buy all this equipment. You know, they were trying to sell, and we're like, nah, we don't want it. Well, the guy that was our salesman at the time said, do you want a surge protector? Like, no, we're good. And he was like, I highly recommend it. They're important. And I was like, no. And, well, we were camping. And every now and then I would see our lights flicker, and then the air conditioner would restart. And weird things were going on this day. And all of a sudden, our light strip out on our awning blew out. Our DVD blew out. And our radio blew out. And I'm like, what happened? So I went through all the circuit breakers and the fuses. I went through everything and couldn't find a problem. So when we got back home, I turned the camper rings. It was under warranty. And the first thing he asked me was, were you plugged into a pedestal at a campground? I said, yes. And he goes, did you have a surge protector hooked up? I said, no. And he was like, I don't know if you're going to be covered under warranty, because I am sure your salesman made it very clear that to have a surge protector. And I said, he did say, but I just thought it was a sales thing, you know, sell. And he was, I don't know if Jayco, the company that is the brand of our camper then, is going to cover this. So I said, you know, let me handle this myself. So I did write a letter to Jayco, and I told him the story that blah, 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 blah. Yes, we were told to have one of these, but I thought it was a sales thing. I did not have this hooked up. However, we have a couple things blown out. What can you do? And they said, get it to the dealer. So I did. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be $3,000, $5,000, or whatever it's going to be to fix this camper. And I'm going to get a surge protector. I'll never do this again. Jayco stepped up to the plate and said, you know, we don't want to ruin your camping trip. So, but this one time, we're going to give you a new light strip for outside. We're going to give you a new radio system and DVD player if you go and purchase a surge protector now. So I ran right in, I bought this, and they covered everything. This thing twice since then has protected me. We were in an electrical storm one time, and this thing shut everything down because there was the power was being turned on and off. We were, you know, the electric was being affected by the storm. This shut everything down until the power was straightened out. Twice. Okay? Now, this is your very basic, everyday surge protector. It works. I don't have a complaint. Okay? Your 30 amp, it works. It's not that expensive. However, from watching all these YouTube videos and these people with these $150,000, $200,000 motorhomes and so forth, they're like, yeah, these work, whatever. But, you know, when you go away and you leave your animals in your camper, you need to know that electric is on, especially if it's on a hot summer day and your camper shuts down and the air conditioner is off and your dogs are in there, your animals are in there. I said, oh my gosh, something else to worry about. So I said, well, what do you recommend? Oh my God. They recommended this. So this is called the Power Watchdog. This is the 30 amp smart surge protector plus EPO. Hughes Auto Performers. So this is the 30 amp to the 30 amp, and this thing is a huge look at the difference. So this is model number P as in Paul, W as in watermelon, D as in dog, 30 amp EPO, made in China. Anyways, so when you plug this in, you see this big face here? If everything is right with your electrical, that everything, you know, is done right from your, when you plug it in, his whole face lights up white. So when you plug it in, you wait for it to light up. If that lights up, you're ready to go. You also have the code down here. You can scan your phone and it'll automatically tell you what's going on. Well, you download the app to your phone, and at any point in time, if something goes wrong, it'll notify your phone that, hey, the electric is off or there's a problem. It takes care of everything for you, and you can check it at any time. So if you have to go away and leave your pets in your RV or camper, you don't have to worry, because your phone will say, uh-oh, your power just went out. You know, get in your truck or whatever and head back to take care of it. Again, when we were newbies, we didn't think about that. You know, we had both our dogs with us. We had 2 beagles. And I never once stopped and thought, oh, the power might go out and they're in a camper and the AC goes off. They're going to fry. Never thought about it. But, you know, like I said, life, you're always learning something new. So you can get the basic, which has saved our butt twice, or you can upgrade to one of these, and then this will give you a peace of mind, because then you can check it again, because this will protect you. But if you're not at your RV or somewhere else, it's not going to tell you until you get home. So this will protect your unit for frying, but not your animals. This, if something happens and you're away, you will be notified on your phone immediately. So we upgrade it to this. Basic, top of the line. Whew. Okay, now I think there's one more item. Yes. So, there we go. Elbow. Whew. So this is to the sewer line. So this will connect to your sewer, to your camper, and it will come through out and go down the drain. I don't have one of these. And our friend across the street, Linda, had one. And I'm like, I just don't want to see what comes out of my black tank or gray tank. Who wants to see it? Just flush it out, call it a day. Well, nobody wants to see it. But when you're flushing your tanks out, you need to see it, because you have to keep flushing them out until the water turns clear and you don't see any more debris. Well, if you can't see it, you never know whether it's clear or not. When I rinse my tanks out, I fill them up and I let them sit overnight, and then the next day I flush them out 3, 4, 5 times and I call it a day. Well, when I helped Linda take care of her tanks, and she had one of these, it was amazing, because I thought by the 4th time we did it, it should be done. And she says, no, watch. And I don't know how many times we did it. 8, 10 times, whatever it was. Every now and then we would see something dislodge and come through. So they're very important. What else could I say that was important we learned? Okay, your hoses, your sewage hose, which they call them stinky slinkies. We only bought one, the Rhino. It's red. It's this color, the red. And the salesman said, hey, you might want to get 2. Sometime I'm like, oh, one's enough. Well, we got to a campground and it didn't reach. We had to move our camper all the way to the other end, which took away all of our space and yard for the dogs, so that our sewer would reach. Always have 2 good long pieces of sewage. Sewer pipe, if you will, stinky slinkies. What else did we learn? So I ordered, I've not received it yet, a 50-foot extension cord. So like I was saying about, the cord that comes out of our camper to plug into for our electric, they're pretty long. Every now and then, happened to us once already, to where the pedestal for hookup was so far away, we couldn't reach it. And we had to change spots with another person because our cord wouldn't reach. So I ordered a 50-foot extension cord so that if that happens, we could do it. Now, always remember, when you hook an extension cord like that up, it should not be for a long period of time, because the longer your extension cord, the longer that power has to travel, and that could create problems. So only do it when you have to do it. I highly recommend that if you don't need it, don't do it. But it's nice to have it on board and have it if you need it, than not. So that we ordered. What else? Oh, an outdoor mat. The huge ones that, ours is the length of the camper. So it's 20 some foot long by 10 or 15 wide. Get one of those. Sometimes the nice ones are a little pricey. However, if you put that right outside where you're in and out of your camper all the time, and you put your chairs on it, and you can stand on it, and your dogs can lay on it, it saves a lot of mess coming into your camper. Two ways. Because you can clean off your feet and take your shoes off and that kind of stuff. You're not standing in sand or dirt or mud, especially if it rains. But if it is raining, you can still go outside under your awning and have that outdoor carpet underneath you and stay dry. And you're not tracking in the mud, the mess, and it's a very, very good thing. Especially if it's rocky or sandy. You can put that down and it kind of gives you a comfort, a barrier between you and the ground. So those are a good thing. And a lot of these things I'll show you in another video, maybe when we go camping or something, or maybe if I have nothing to do for the day, I'll make another video of accessories that we've gotten. Because I have a ton of accessories that we have bought over the years. And I've narrowed it down to things that are just important. Because always remember on board your weight limit. Okay, there's a certain amount of poundage that you're allowed to put on board. So don't go loading your camper up. Every inch has to have something in it. There is a maximum poundage that you're allowed on board. That's important. If you have the incorrect hookup from camper to your truck, if you have the wrong tow vehicle compared to your camper, and you get in an accident, you are liable. You are important to have the correct tow vehicle that's for that particular camper. Just because your truck might say, well, it tows 10,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds it can tow, but what about ton weight? There's so many variables in there. Definitely make sure that your camper is made it to the tow vehicle and it's proper. There's a lot of weight and there's a lot of things that go into there, but I was talking to our insurance company and they made it very clear. Make sure that your vehicle fits that camper and you cannot go over, whether it's the weight of the camper or weight of cargo. So keep that in mind. Talk to your dealer. Make sure you go through it with them. I know we asked many times. I think my truck tows 10.5 or 10.2, something like that. Our first camper was 4,300 pounds. This camper, I think, is 47 or 5,000 pounds. So we're way under. I'd rather be under. Why stress the vehicle? Why stress me? Anyways. Excuse me. Been chatting a lot. There you go. I think that's about it. I will do another video on some of the other products that we have, and tell you why we've picked them and whether we would say get them or not. But that'll be in another video. So until then, thanks for coming along. I greatly appreciate it. I'll be talking to you soon. And if you get a chance, maybe think about subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you aboard and be part of the family. Maybe give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And also, go down there on the side and ring that bell so each and every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Okay? Again, thanks for coming along. I'll be talking to you soon, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.